Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. Stay tuned because we're going to put some pods on the boat and you're going to see the process because I filmed it. If you're new to the channel guys, hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. Well, you're probably wondering why I'm doing a little bit of narrating here, and it's because of a lack of audio. We had a few issues with the GoPro Media Mod, and the audio got stuffed up, and I have since thrown the Media Mod in the bin. So, you get to listen to my lovely voice in post-edit. Obviously, there's a few of you out there that probably aren't that interested, but nonetheless, we are going to dive into the video. So, as you can already see there, the old man is racing around doing a little bit of measurement and mocking up the shape of the pods with foam squares. Now, this is like a high-density foam that we have bought simply just for moulding and making the pods. So he's going through at the moment, he's just moulding them up to basically get the desired shape that we want. He's just going to tech screw them all together and get a rough shape, or a relatively clean shape, I should say, not rough shape. And from there, we are then going to go ahead and build the pod. So he's just doing a few different measurements, a lot of different, measure twice, cut once, so to speak, or in our case, measure once, cut twice. Yes. Anyway, I hope you guys are going to enjoy this video. We're going to go through and basically just build these pods. So sit down and have a cold one. Oh, look, here I am. Never mind. Here is me. I am going through. Basically, I'm just talking about how we've mocked up the first pod. It is a bit of a rough shape and so on, but this is what they're going to look like, essentially. So this is the preliminary stages, if you will. We're just going through and getting it all ready to go. But also, same time, we've got a few patches and stuff to do to the boat, so that's just me walking you through, basically telling you there's a few holes. I've cut out a section of the bow. If you haven't already seen on my socials, I am now running live scope on the bow. So I have a bow mount live scope pole, and I also have a G-Fab, sorry. I now have a G-Fab custom bracket too for the sounder, all mocked up for the bow. Dad's just going through fairing back the pods, putting nice curved edges on them so that the fiberglass can be easily moulded. I'm just admiring the shape of the pod. It's coming together pretty nicely, and just the concept of it is sort of, it's all starting to sink and settle in, so it's quite nice knowing that we're going to have this done. Oh, okay, so don't know where this is going to come into it. We've got a little tiny bit of footage, yeah, good enough. But we've bogged up all our little patches, getting ready for a glass in. Oh, bow section is done, all ready for coat of resin and glass. I've just sort of we're going to repatch up where the old Minn Kota puck is, because I want to run another Minn Kota on it, but out the other side. So that's all that. It's all bogged in. We're just going to run one layer over the top, a couple of thicker layers around the edges. Pods have got one layer of resin on them just to soak into the foam, just so that when we do glass it up, it's not going to pull the resin out of the mat. That's sort of where we're at. So don't know how it's all going to go together, but I'll fix that up in the post-edit. So that's where we're at for now. Let's keep going, and we'll catch up again soon. Oh, guess what? It's me again. Alright, so we're diving back into just a bit of a montage of sanding, basically. A lot of sanding seems to take place when you're doing fiberglassing. Sanding, grinding, cutting, lots of different things, and it can be quite a tedious process. I actually enjoy it and don't mind it. A bit of an update obviously here. I'm just talking you through how I have done my glass up and stuff like that. We've jumped ahead probably a day now. doing some glass up. The front is done. It's basically just going to have the flow coat done to it all. I'm not going to worry about bogging or anything like that. I've bogged up inside the pods so I can create like a curved edge so that the mat, which is, I believe, 800 gram mat. I'll probably put it up on screen anyway, but the mat is quite thick and it's quite hard to curve into the edges, and you get bubbles if you don't have that nice curve. So instead of being like a sharp edge, which is quite hard to roll out and get the bubbles out of, I've created curved edges wherever possible, just to smooth it out, because it is quite hard to get bubbles out, and you don't want bubbles in your glass work, basically. So I'm just setting the camera back up, getting ready for... I'm basically just telling you that we're moving on to doing some measuring and cutting of sheets of mat for the pods. So that's just me going through, tearing some mat to size to be able to fit into the pod, with a rough bit of overlap on all corners inside and out. So this is just the internal matting that I'm cutting up ready, and basically just tear it. You don't really want to cut it because it is chop strand, so it's basically just separated woven rovings, separated and just meshed together with a I forget, it's like a polystyrene sort of glue anyway, and it adheres all of the mat together. And basically when you apply the polystyrene resin, which I am now stirring, that will dissolve the gelling or wetting agent that's in the mat that holds the mat together. So yeah, really butchered that one, guys, but if anybody has a idea of it, feel free to drop a comment below. That's just my layman's butchered term on basically that. So just mixing it all up now. We're gonna have another quick little montage of me doing some glass work, so you get to see that juicy ass. And yeah, look at me, I work hard for the money. But applying some resin down first, obviously acetone to activate the resin. I have then gone and just applied a thin coat of resin to the base surface first, put the mat in, and then pour resin over the top and roll it all out. And basically you want to work from the inside out to your edges and just push all the bubbles out, without trying obviously not to push the resin out either, because you want the resin to sit in it. So we're just doing that there now. Next day, so we've jumped ahead again. Really apologise for the haphazard video. Like, this is a long process, so this is probably taking me about 2 weeks to just do this one video. But you're probably wondering what I'm doing here. I am just chopping out a section of the pod on the right hand side, and I am bogging in a timber mounting point. So the timber piece that I'm putting in is just so that I can mount my transducer off the rear end of the pod. Obviously the glass has no real structural support, so I'd either have to through bolt it, which I don't really want to do, and instead I just I went for this timber piece. So if I ever want to pull the screws out, I could just glass it back up or bog it back up and put new screws in. But yeah, just bog that in, a little bit of a fiddly sort of stuff, trying to chop it out and move it around. Mixing up the bog there now. Look at that. The more talcum powder you can put into it, the better. So for those of you who don't know what bog is, it's just resin and talcum powder mixed together. The more talcum powder you get, the thicker the bog is going to be. The less, obviously, the resin will be a lot thinner and it'll be a lot sloppier. It just won't be as sticky or pliable. And then you just apply a little bit of hardener, the same as what you would your resin, so that it'll go off. Just stick a bit of bog in behind it to eliminate any void and stuff like that, and fill in all the air gaps. So nice thick layer behind it. And then I sort of wanted to sit a little bit proud so that it's easy to see once all the glasswork has been applied and put on and flow coated, because obviously once you flow coat it, you can't tell where the timber piece is. So wrap up of day one, basically. Alright, so all I'm doing here is basically just talking you through what I've done for the day. Again, I've just coated that piece of timber in resin as well. The glasswork has basically been done for all of the insides and the outsides. So there is stringers that I'll made up out of foam, bogged them in. They've got to be glassed in as well, just to create a little bit of structural strength underneath or on the bottom side. I then obviously put one layer of glass all up on the inside. 8 grams, chopped strand. And yeah, basically just job done really. We're going to jump ahead here in a second. Okay, so now I'm just basically telling you that I've finished glassing up and flow coated the patches. Obviously I didn't colour match very well, which is what I'm pointing out there. I haven't done a very good job at colour matching at all. Sue me, roast me in the comments if you will. I'm not too bothered. I probably will actually flow coat the entire vessel again in the future anyway, so it was just a temporary thing. Basically we were just rushing to get it done for a trip to Stanage Bay, which is in episodes to come, so definitely stick around for those guys. They will be in the coming weeks.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight.
Alright. So before we get into it too much and start doing some sanding down, we've got that last layer on the bottom. So we've done 3 layups on the bottom, 2 on every other side. We've just got the back to do now, 2 layups there. So I'll sand it down, prep it, do those layups. Then one of these I've still got to do another layup on the inside where I put those stringers. But that's where we're up to. I don't know what day it is now, but we're a fair way into it.
Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
would have seen me doing some grinding, but now we're going to try and get this to fit on the back of here. We'll tack it on with a couple of these little plates and screws just so we can get it sitting right. And we'll bog around the edges and then hopefully start glassing it up. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Alright, so we got them sitting somewhat comfortable, or I'm somewhat comfortable with how they're sitting anyway. But we're going to mix up this batch of bog and stick them to the back. So I've got them pinned up there at the moment with ratchet straps, which are holding them tight. While the bog goes off, I've got them sitting in the right position as well. Should be the go. It's just a case now of pinning them up. The biggest issue I had was with the planing surface, trying to make sure that's sitting just right. Sitting just right, no lips and stuff like that. Look quite mid. And I'm beat. Very beat. Not the quickest fiberglasser, and I'm probably not the best either. These things take time. And I'm probably a little bit high on the fumes, but that's a good thing. We got the heater set up just because it's getting a bit cool in the afternoon. I kind of want this to go off. We did a fair bit today, but like, I don't know what day is. It's like day 8 or day 9. But we also got everything up the front all set up. She's all looking pretty mint. I'm actually quite happy with how that turned out. Alright guys, I'll get back to you probably in a day or two. Obviously in the process of filming a day or two, because tomorrow's the day off, having Sunday off, and then back into it on Monday, and then Monday we'll start doing more of a glass up on the outside, I guess. So yeah, we're so close to finishing this home stretch. Let's get it done. Well, it's another cold start to the day, as you can see down there. Get the heater going, because not because I want to warm the job up so much, but because I'm cold. But this is where we're up to. So the pods are bogged on. We've had a little bit of audio troubles the last couple of days, which is very frustrating for some of the previous like run-throughs and stuff after I've done bits and pieces. We've bogged the pods on, just starting to drill out holes for these inspection covers that are going to go on the top. Plus also that'll allow me to get in there, because I have to glass up on the inside as well as the outside. That way it's extra strong, because they do get a fair bit of force and pressure on them, so you definitely want to make sure they're attached, so to speak. So drill these holes out, get that done, start laying the bog up inside. I'll do that, and then I'll start fairing and cleaning up the outside. Then I can do both glass ups sort of in sync without having to do too much else. That way I can sort of get as much done as quick as I can, because it's getting to the point at the end of the job and I want it finished. So that's where we're up to, that's what we're going to do. It's not too bad. It turned out pretty good. The lines aren't too bad. Camera lens is a little bit foggy, so I do apologise. So if the audio doesn't go through for this, I'm going to be so pissed. This would have to be the hardest part. I'm going to use a mirror to try and bog up into the back. and it is really frustrating. Not a lot of other ways you can do it, but so it is what it is. But we're going through this little porthole to be able to try and do it. Okay, so we're just finishing off the last glass layup on the inside. So we're just doing like another little bit of a stitch up on the inside of that pod right there. Then that's pretty much done. The blow dryer is just heating the job up so I can finish that off, and then once I've done it, I'll put it back in there to heat to help cure the resin, because it won't go off very well inside because it's so insulated from the material. But once that's done, we'll start bogging up each pod, fair and back, make them nice and smooth, give them nice smooth edges, clean up around it all, give it a flow coat, and job done. It's only been what? It's actually been like nearly 2 weeks. This job's been in the process. So mainly just because, like, you know, the weather conditions and stuff like that, you need nice hot dry days for the glass to go off. So that's where we're at. Cute little catch up with you guys. Some of the audio is going to be a bit shitty because the GoPro Media Mod's stuffing up, so I don't even know if this is going to be any good, so we'll see, but let's get it done. Well, I'm definitely happy with how they turned out. They're quite nice. They finished the boat off nice. Yeah, sure, they're black and stuff like that. And the black on the white may not suit some people, but I'm pretty happy with it. I'm happy with how everything's mounted. I might go over with it. I might go over the boat a little bit when we get home, but like, I mean, there's nothing really to it. It's just pods. If you want to do it yourself, like it's something I wouldn't recommend doing yourself, actually. It's something that I've done. It's something that people are probably going to criticise me for, which is fine. I don't really care about that. But it's one of those things that I've done because I wanted it on my boat and I want the benefits of it. And it gives me a little bit of fiberglassing practice for obviously doing the rest of that other boat build, and it gives you guys something in the meantime to watch and sort of look forward to. But this video has been just so like haphazard all over the place. If you did enjoy it, guys, give it a thumbs up. It goes a long way. If you enjoy the video, it helps me know whether this is the content that you want to see. If not, like, just tell me in the comments what content you want to see. I'm trying at the moment to do a couple of thready videos, so I do have some coming out. If you haven't seen it already, I do have a Standage Bay series coming out. If it isn't already out, if it is already out, I'll put a couple of links in the description below. I'm not going to do one of those like stupid ones on screen because it's easier if you just click a link in the bottom section. So with that being said, guys, it's the end of the video. Stay tuned for the next one.